everybody, welcome to the Ridgeway Kitchen. I'm coming on today to make it's Asian chicken lettuce wraps, but I am actually going to be doing it the original recipe because I still have that seasoning, which was ginger citrus. So I have my chicken breasts already cooling in the freezer. I made them in the microwave with the ridged baker, and two breasts, they're fairly thick, and in the ridge baker for 6 minutes, and no flipping them or anything, and it cooks them still moist and everything, and the ridges prevent the chicken from sitting down in the juices as it's cooking. So the first thing I'm going to make is the dressing for this, so that way it can meld together. So it calls for a ½ cup of mayonnaise. I'm going to use our mini measure-all and our classic spatula. Even though mine is orange, this comes in white. This was a special color. Every now and again, Pampered Chef will, come out with some seasonal colors, and this was a tangerine orange one from one of the seasons. And I'm just putting it into the dry side. The other side is for your wet items. So the dry side I would not only use for mayonnaise or yogurt, I would also use it for honey, because honey is very thick, or even molasses if you're making molasses cookies at the holidays. And I don't worry about it being like perfectly flat because there's probably air pockets in there. And so I have my ½ cup, and I'm using my 3-cup prep bowl to put it in. And all you do is you turn to the side and then you push it through. And then you scrape it down, and your mayonnaise is in the bowl, and you're not sitting there trying to dig it out of one of the metal measuring cups, which sometimes can be a pain, especially like for honey or peanut butter. So that is like one of my favorite tools. I'm going to scrape this down to get all the mayonnaise into there. I hate wasting. I like getting as much into the bowl as I can. Okay. Oh, there's still a little bit on here too. There we go. Alright, and then we need the, this would normally be Asian seasoning if you do not have the ginger citrus. This was a discontinued one. Like I said, I still have it. And I'm going to do a tablespoon of this. And I'd also seasoned my chicken with this. The recipe calls for seasoning the chicken with salt and pepper, but I wanted a little added flavor. Whoop. Okay then, so let's pour a little bit of this back into the thing because I just got a whole bunch in there by over pouring. Alright, so there is my seasoning. And then it is a tablespoon of soy sauce. Soy sauce. You want to use the low sodium. Soy sauce is extremely high in sodium. So there's a tablespoon. Now, I hope you can see, I can't zoom you in, but as I push this, it pushes it out. And now there's still a little bit in there. I'm going to hold it up. You can see it's not going down past the gasket. So our adjustable measuring spoons are fantastic for dry or liquid. I always do my dry first and then my liquid. So that way I'm not sitting and trying to get the dry stuff out because it's adhered to the spoon because of the liquid being in there first. So now I'm just going to take our stainless whisk and slowly start so you don't splash it everywhere, and then just whisk this together. And this makes a really nice dressing for the chicken salad. And like I said, I'm making this first so that way the flavor melts together. And then tap our whisk down to get as much off as possible. Okay, now time to start the salad. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I'm actually doing a little bit more ingredients than it calls for because I have more than a pound of chicken tenders. I probably have more like 1.5 pounds. But you know, we like a little some things additionally. So this is our veggie strip maker. It is made of plastic, and you notice mine is white and stuff. I will show it after I do the carrots. You're going to see some orange. All I do is I just put some dish soap directly onto it, let it sit a little bit, scrub it in some, let it sit, no water added and stuff, and that brings it back to the white without a problem. And so the recipe actually says to use the julienne peeler, but I like the veggie strip maker because it puts it into smaller strips and you don't have to sit there and cut them down. And all you do is a back and forth motion. And I'm going to set it directly on the mixing bowl. This is the medium size of our stainless mixing bowls that I am using. Turn it. And then I'm just going to flat palm it to get it going across. Now you see I'm rubbing my hand against it. No cuts because it's plastics. This is absolutely safe for the kids to use. This is the fun part, getting the last little bit. There we go. So that's one carrot, and you can see the orange on there, and that, like I said, that'll easily come off. I've got some pieces that kind of tossed over. So I'm going to do the second carrot. Come on. This is actually one of my daughter's favorite recipes. It's nice and light, great for traveling, and that lunches, you know, great recipe to take as lunches. You can do it in a wrap, or you can, you know, put the lettuce into a tortilla and stuff it and make a roll up with it. So this is a fun way that the kids can help. But you can do cabbage with this. You can do cauliflower for cauliflower rice. And you know, with cauliflower rice, you do want to make sure you have a good sized bowl, and you want to angle downward so that way it's not going everywhere. And next, I'm going to set that in the sink. So we have our edamame beans. I've already shelled them. I had actually bought shelled, so I had to sit there and shell them. And I rinsed them and everything. They're going straight in. I do recommend getting the ones that are already shelled. Shelling them is a pain. So we have that in there. And then we need our green onion. And this we're just going to slice thinly. I'm going to use my chef's knife. And notice I'm putting my thumb here and my forefinger here. And so you pinch the blade, and then you wrap the rest of your fingers around the handle. That is going to help you have more control of the knife and put less action into your wrist and the knife doing more of the action. So I have them nice and straight. And the trick is getting them sliced thinly. And I'm not as good as my husband on my finger, because the ideal thing is to kind of use your knuckles as a guide, and that doesn't always quite work for me. I'm not that coordinated, so I'll just slice them down. And you do want to go up into the green. The green part still has some flavor, and it adds some fun color as well. And I'd already peeled these down. There were some outer layers that were not as pretty and didn't want to use, so I peeled them down and I cut the stringy end off. And really, that's the main part that you want to cut off. And I'm cutting on one of our flexible mats. It's one of our older designs. And so I'm just going to part on the knife. Just going to take across the cutting board, And then I'm going to pick my flexible mat up